thanks for tuning in to Cooking with Sina. Today we're going to be making Crab Rangoon, also known as crab puffs. But these are our filled wontons filled with cream cheese and imitation crab and whatever seasoning that you like. So here's my basic recipe of it. So the first thing we'll need are some wonton wrappers. You can get this at your local Asian store, and I believe some American stores have them, like Winco. Then I have 2 8-ounces of cream cheese, so I'm using 16 ounces total. I've had this at room temperature for at least 30 minutes just to get them softer so they're easier to mix. I have some jalapeños. You can use 1 or 2 depending how spicy you want the filling. I have some green onions, an egg to help with wrapping, 16 ounces of imitation crab, and then just some salt and pepper for seasoning. Let's get started. Here's a closer look of all the ingredients. So the first thing I'm doing is I grabbed my green onions and I'm cutting it into thin slices. After I finish cutting them, I'm just going to throw them into a bowl and put them to the side. Now let's cut our jalapeno. So first thing I'm doing is removing the top of the jalapenos and then cutting the jalapeno in half. Now that I've done it, I'm going to grab a spoon and remove the membrane and the seeds of the jalapeno. Now I'm going to do this to all the jalapenos because I do not want the seeds or membrane in the mix. Now I'm going to cut the jalapenos into thin strips and then work my way across so I can dice them. After dicing the jalapenos, I'm going to throw them in a separate bowl and put them to the side. Now let's work with the imitation crab. So I'm just removing it from its packet and I'm going to dice all of the imitation crab. Now that I'm finished dicing this up, let's start combining the ingredients and make the filling. So first thing I'm throwing into my KitchenAid mixer is the 2 8-ounces of cream cheese. Then I have my imitation crab. I'm throwing most of it in. I want to save a little bit just in case it's just too much. My green onions, I'm throwing all of that in. And my jalapenos, I'm throwing about half in. I just want to see how the consistency is, and then later I'll see if I want to add more. Now let's just mix it so everything is thoroughly combined. So I see that I can add more imitation crab, so I'm going to add a little bit more too, and then some more jalapenos. I would say that I only used about 12 ounces of the imitation crab instead of 16 ounces, and then about 1.5 jalapenos. Now I'm adding salt and pepper. I'm going pretty heavy with it because that's the only seasoning I'm using. Now that everything's mixed together, let's start filling our wontons. Now we're ready to fold our wontons. I have my wonton wrappers ready, my filling, and then I cracked my egg to use as a binder. Alright, the first thing I'm doing is grabbing the wonton, and then I'm using a spoon to scoop out some of that filling. Make sure that you don't overfill because that will make the wontons open up while frying. Now I'm using the egg as a binder and I'm just putting it on both sides, and now I'm going to fold it into a triangle. Now I'm using my fingers and I'm going to press along the edges to make sure that the wonton is fully shut. I'm going to repeat this process until all my filling is used. Alright, you can see that we made a pretty big batch. So I'm gonna go ahead and fry these, but for these, I wanna save them for next time. So what I've done is I've laid them flat on a baking sheet. I've lined them with a silicone mat. You can also use parchment paper. I'm gonna loosely cover them with saran wrap and throw them in the freezer for a few hours. The reason I do that is because I want them to individually freeze. After the few hours are up, I'm gonna take them all out, throw them in a Ziploc bag, and just store them in the freezer for next time. So let's get started and fry these up. I have about 3 inches of oil in my pot and it's at a medium heat. Once hot, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my crab rangoons. I throw about 4 to 5 at a time because I don't want to overcrowd it. Overcrowding it makes the oil drop in temperature and will make the crab rangoons soggy, so you want to avoid that. The crab rangoon takes about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. What I like to do is after a minute, I flip them over so I can ensure that both sides are golden brown. You want to have a plate lined with paper towels or a cooling rack to place the finished crab rangoons after frying. Now I'm going to repeat this process until all my crab rangoons are done frying. All right, now that they're done, it's time to try them. Just want to give you a heads up, if you eat one, you're going to eat a ton of them because they're absolutely addicting. All right, let's go for a bite. So I actually cut one in half so I can show you the inside. You can see the cream cheese, the imitation crab, jalapeños, the green onion. Look how crispy the wonton wrapper is. So I like to dip mine in sweet and sour sauce. Let's go in. That's fire. Well, I hope you guys liked the video and I hope you guys enjoy the recipe. Happy eating.